Welcome to Oldsmobile 455. The bodywork continues on the old Dumpy. And like the last time, we just get the mirror out of the way. This one's got rubber on it that we got to remove. Hopefully there's not clips behind it. And this one's been damaged in the front. We'll have to knock that back. And we didn't even take the lock out or the door handle. Just went around it. This one isn't as bad. You know, there's no rot hole here. I think we can just sand it down and paint it. I don't know what's on here, but it's sturdy.
This is going to be the extent of the patchwork on this door.
Previous owner had a mirror on here and probably bashed a tree at, speed, and then the mirror broke and broke the glass inside the door and buckled this in, and then he put a different window in. It might be from a different truck. It doesn't fit very good, so we're trying to get this all straight. Is it even moving?
Cut a lot of the rust away on the driver's side here, and I have to rebuild this beam. I'm just going to take a piece of angle iron, have the flat side up and then the side going down. It looks like it hooks up about there. You can see the top side was above the plane of where that bolt bolts up. Working on these fenders now. I think they might have been replaced at the last paint job, but where they stamped it there were some cracks in here. Got them welded up. I think we got a little bit carried away.
Well, at first we were just going to get rid of the rust, but now it's raining, so we can't do anything outside, so we're knocking out little dingers.
I was watching DIY Auto School, and he was using a polyester blending putty with his Bondo to get more of a creamy finish. And then in cold situations he liked this plastic honey. So we're going to give this a shot and see how it works out. So this is just regular Bondo with no hardener in it. I don't really know how much of this stuff to add. We'll try that much.
It'll be a learning curve.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I know it's a little difference, but not much.
Really? I'd say it spreads a little smoother. You can tell Bondo has more drag when you're spreading it. And this is creamier.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to go over this stuff with high build. I mean, this is just sanded out with 60.
Rough as a cob.
I mean, it looks better than it did, though. The front of it's straight, at least. Maybe 2 coats of high build, I don't know. Not sure where I left off, but we replaced that original cab brace with a piece of angle. And there's enough left of this plate that I just connected everything to that. Should be good for a couple years, I hope. I'm extending this angle plate down here. Really liking that punch. It's going to go something like that. Probably pop a couple holes in the top and then connect these 2 plates. I'll have to extend off the bottom of this torque box to the floor once it's up on the lift. I am cutting the rusted metal away as much as possible. Here's the inside of the cab corner. We're going to reconnect this to this in case we get T-boned. Box this corner in here, and the same with that one. Kind of running out of time to work on this. We're working on it outside and daylight's not as long as it once was. Been raining a lot. Just going to toss in a little angle support there behind the cab corner to help box that in. I was able to tack the bottom of this cab corner onto this piece here on the driver's side, but that whole lip's missing on the passenger side. The entire back of this cab was floating except for this little connected piece in the center. So I'm just cutting it out above this lip here, and I'm going to do it 1/2 at a time so it doesn't have any chance of drooping. And afterwards I'll add a little piece of angle in here to attach this. 1 inch worked okay there, but I had to rip a 1/2 inch off 2 inch for the back. Working on boxing in this cab corner. Basically completing the floor.
We gotta finish this off because, you know, we just tacked it. And you wanna keep the water from getting into all these seams.
As we've talked in the past, as you see, you know, you're putting applications of Bondo on and you're doing it in the dark, you really can't see very well. As soon as you got light and it's over there to work, you can see the shadows on here. It's just as wavy. I don't know if it comes through on the video, but that definitely has to be blocked out better.
There's a whole nother coat on here. We used plastic honey on here for the first time to see how that works out. Setting up.
So this was all wavy. That's the high spot. There's a low spot here. And that's as good as we're gonna go.
So this is just some standard Bondo here. And this is that plastic honey stuff. This is a final coat. And put some of that on there like that. You can tell it's getting creamier. So how's that for spreading?
It's like frosting on a cake. Not that I've made a cake lately, but it seems smooth.
Got the cab corners and some epoxy primer, and got the floors seam sealed and the floors into epoxy primer. It's actually holding water there. At this juncture, we are going to take the engine nut out and the trans. This truck needs a clutch, so no matter what, we were going to do that. And since we're that far, we're just going to take the engine out and dress it up. These exhaust manifold bolts are horrible. We want to fix the exhaust leaks in this. And somehow something is getting into the oil. This is way too high. I'm almost thinking it was gas, but it could be moisture. I don't know. So probably pops new head gaskets in this engine. And we'll do something with this core support to get it reattached to the front frame here. Do a new radiator for it. Got a little Spectre job, so see how that works. Looks like somebody soldered this at some point here. It's not really doing a very good job of cooling it. As I recall, it was running hot back when I was driving this truck. See if we can't pressurize this coolant system and hear anything in the engine. Not hearing anything obvious. Looks like it's holding pretty good.
The rust is probably keeping it all together.
Yeah. He put a tube of that, I don't even know what to call it. Stop leak, yeah, in there.
So we're ending up taking this all apart, and we were discussing this situation when he ends up turning the steering wheel. The frame was actually flexing, and in the past he ended up tying a brace across from one side of the frame to the other to keep that flex from happening, or else you break that. And a lot of people don't realize how much stress is going into that steering box when they add big wheels and stuff, and you're flying over jumps and shit. The frames flex there, and on the old Blazers and Chevys, they were notorious for that, and a lot of guys will buy an extra plate after it's cracked. It's got the 3 holes where the steering box goes, and they weld them in just for that fact, because this takes a lot of abuse right here at the steering box area on the frame. Well, you can see how I screwed up. I thought there was a snap ring, but that was the spring underneath. So we might have to fix that. All right. Oh.
We're getting to the nitty gritty here, just ready to pull this out. And we're going to eliminate this AIR pump. I think we're going to cut it here, blend it in, maybe make an aluminum spacer back there. And then we're going to eliminate this bracket also.
I'm thinking this here and this was probably for a hydraulic pump on a plow or something. Because here's the power steering pump, that was off of here. But we'll clean all those brackets up and paint them black too. So you can see how much degradation the rust on this is the sending unit. It's just decomposed. Everything's all just trying to blow it off so when we work on it, we don't have a bunch of rust.
This exhaust manifold is paper thin. We'll die grind it out though and
Make it look good.
yeah.
Well, this thing was parked on a farm. When we took the bell housing off, I wasn't used to Ford. They got that mid plate in between. And I thought I could just take the starter and, but you gotta disconnect the starter because it's going through a mid plate. But under that mid plate was a whole mouse nest in here. But something here, you know, the gasket or something was flinging oil around. This is all full of oil. That could have gotten on the clutch. But he said it slipped from day one.
Yeah, too weak of a pressure plate was in it.
So I just blew off a bunch of rust. And hopefully it'll be easier to work on. We had some orange oil on the motor soaking for a while. I'm going to take the pressure off.
Well, that was a full 6 hours on Saturday ripping that engine out. And we went over and did a once over pressure wash on the whole truck. Probably wire wheel this and prime and paint it with some of that chassis black. Still got to work on that hood, to do some work to that core support. Order a clutch. We're going to try to wrap this project up within a few weeks, so we got other things we want to be working on. This will be a really handy piece of equipment though, once she is dialed in. Now that this is inside, we can work on it when it gets dark out, which is pretty early. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.